Welcome to Rising with Soccer.
Hello everyone. Coming to the third quarterfinal match in Euro 2020, that is Czech Republic versus Denmark. The game will be played in Baku. Let's look into lineup and formations for both teams. In orange, we have Czech Republic. In blue, we have Denmark. Czech Republic will be going with their traditional 4-2-3-1 system with Vaslik in goal, Sufal as right back. On left back, we will be having Boril, and centre backs will be Kalas and Selutska. Coming to the midfielder partnership, we will be having the evergreen Suchek, who plays really well, and Holsch, who got himself a goal against Netherlands, and he was very inspiring in that match against Netherlands. Then coming to the wingers, we will be having Yankto and Masapost, and on cam role, we will be having experienced Barak. He is a good player, played phenomenal against Netherlands, and I'm hoping he will be starting against Denmark too. And coming to a striker, the goal of the tournament nominee, Patrick Schick, who scored a wonderful goal against Scotland. He also got himself a goal in last game against Netherlands, and he's been a form of life. So it will be a great to watch to see him against Denmark. Then coming to Denmark, Denmark will be going with their preferred formation of 3-4-3, or we can call it as 3-4-2-1, with Schmeichel in goal. They will be going with the Christensen, Kjær, and Westergaard as a centre back partners. All three guys are phenomenal. They are defending like anything. They are a beauty to watch when they are on pitch. They do not allow any attacker to cross them. It's really great defending partners. Coming to the wing backs, they will be going with Daniel Voss. He has came out of his injury. Last game, Striker started, but Daniel Voss will be starting this game. And coming to the left wing back role, we will be having Mailer. He's Atlanta player. He got himself 2 goals in last 2 games, so he is in a form of his life. He can play on left wing also, right wing also. So he will be the player to watch again. A very good player. And coming to the attackers, we will be having Braithwaite, Damsgaard, and Casper Dolberg. Dolberg got himself 2 goals in the last game. He came as a substitute in few games on group stages, but last game he started and he scored 2 good goals. And I have really high expectations from him in this game also, because he's a very talented player. Plays for OGS Nice in French league, so it's a really good watch. Let's look into key battles for this game. So the very first battle will be the same, Dolberg versus Kalas and Selutska. So looking at the form of both Kalas and Selutska, they have been consistent center back pairs, and they are good actually. And against Kasper Dolberg, who has just recently scored 2 goals in one game when he started. So both all the three players will be having a lot of confidence. But Kasper Dolberg, I guess he has a lot of quality, and I think he will be bigger. He will be having an upper hand against these two. Then coming to the Mailer wing, that is left wing. Mailer versus we will be having Sufal. Sufal has been a pretty good player for Czech Republic as well as the club which he plays in Premier League. Absolutely good form. And against he will be having Mailer. Mailer is also doing a great job, and it will be a true test. We cannot say who will come out as a winner in this battle, but it will be a great to watch because Sufal likes to attack also. He likes to overlap also. He came to defense also, and same kind of profile is having Mailer, where he likes to attack, he likes to defend. He's industrious. So both the players of similar profile. So it will be a great watch to see who will come out as a winner in this game. Then we will be coming with the Damsgaard versus Suchek. Looking at Damsgaard linking play with the Denmark players is absolutely phenomenal. I am very impressed by the young lad because he got himself a goal against Russia, and in the last game also he was very good in linking play. So Suchek will be having a lot of tough time against this young player, Damsgaard, and Suchek would like to make himself available for defending against him because he's really good in attacking. He can pass through and absolutely fantastic player. Then we will be having Braithwaite versus now Braithwaite can also play inside these roles, but he likes to play on wing also mostly. So Damsgaard might play inside this midfield role instead of wing, and Melo will be looking for the wing, but Braithwaite should be looking for the wing role only. So what we can expect from Mailer is Mailer will Braithwaite against Borel. Borel did not play in the last game because I guess he was rested in that game, and Braithwaite got himself a goal against uh, in last game. So he will be full of confidence and he will be looking to score more goals. He had a lot of shots. He had taken a lot of shots on target also, but only got himself one goal. So he would like to improve his tally of goals. So it will be a good battle, and I guess Braithwaite will be having upper hand against Borel in this game. So we have two players who will be having a kind of upper hand. That is, one is Casper Dolberg, and that is Braithwaite. Then coming to the Daniel Voss will be up against Yankto. And as we have seen, Czech Republic likes to press high, and this is where I guess Yankto versus Daniel Voss will be a pretty tough battle. And Yankto will be look. He likes to. He's a very pacey player, so he can cut in also. He can dribble past the defender also. And Daniel Voss, as he was injured, and he will be starting today, so it will be difficult for him to go against him. So I guess this is somewhere I guess Denmark might face very problems against Yangto. Then coming to the Patrick Schick versus Kerr, uh, to be honest, Patrick Schick is in form of his life, and Kerr is a experienced AC Milan defender. So this is a very very tough battle. We cannot see who can come out as winner. A slight mistake here and there or marginal error can cause a lot of problems for Denmark defense. So this is a kind of a neutral battle we can see here. Then coming to the other players, we will be seeing here uh, Højbjerg and Delaney. So Højbjerg and Delaney, just like they played against Wales, Højbjerg was pretty good and Thomas Delaney also was pretty good. So when they come as a center midfield partnership, it's very very difficult for other players to come against them. And if we see, they will be up against Holsh, who had a great game, similar profile as Højbjerg, and Barak. Barak is an experienced player, but he lacks the pace. And Delaney is a very physical player. He likes to man mark the player. He will be intercepting the balls. So looking at the midfield structure, I guess a little upper hand for Denmark midfielders, because I know good midfielders in Barak and Holsh, but looking at the Højbjerg and Thomas Delaney partnership and confidence in this game, in this tournament, I guess they will be having a little upper hand. Then coming to the winger role of Masopust. Masopust likes to be in higher up the pitch. He does not like to do the defending. So he will be kind of given a free role because he is playing a very good tournament, and he would also like to be on score sheet again in this tournament, and he also a very quality player, can dribble past the players and everything. And against he will be up against Westergaard. So that needs to be seen where what will be happening here, because there might be the case Vestergaard might do some marginal errors. He is absolute good player, experienced player also, but there might be some chance that Masopust might get ahead of him. So this is one of the key battles also where I think Czech Republic is having an upper hand. And looking at it, we can also see where I said here Mailer versus Sufal. So Sufal also likes to sometimes push up. So if at all Sufal likes would be looking to attack, then the third defender, that is Selutska needs to cover up for Mailer, and Kalash needs to cover up for Kasper Dolberg. But in this situation, I think Czech Republic will be very very vulnerable, and they will be very very in difficult phase. So I guess it will be better if they can have two players marking for Patrick Schick, sorry, Kasper Dolberg, and Sufal should be helping in the defense, because in this game, this is a very tough game, and we need to have a pragmatic approach, a defensive approach, we can say, because you can win, you can retrieve the ball in this area, and you can directly pass the ball to Yankto or Masapost, who are PC players and who can do something and have those kind of attacks created. But if at all there is some problem in defense, like and we have seen Denmark also likes to do direct attacks. So if we see if they plan to do direct attack, and during that time if at all Sufal is up higher up the pitch instead of defending, it will be disastrous for Czech Republic. So I will be, if I was the coach, I would have said to Czech boys to defend as a unit, and let's do the counter attacks and direct balls to the forward three players and let them do their magic. But do not take risk, because Denmark is a very difficult team. They have scored 8 goals in last 2 games. They are on fire actually. so they can do anything. So this is the way I guess key battles will be turning out for Czech Republic and Denmark. And position wise, I guess Denmark will be holding a lot of position. Czech Republic will be industrious in their game. They would like their work rates will be high, but Denmark would like to have a ball position and dictate the game of tempo of the game. So let's see how it goes. The game will be played in Baku Stadium. Players to watch will be Patrick Schick. I said marginal errors of Denmark defense can cost them this game. And Patrick Schick is the kind of a player who will make you pay for your mistakes. So he will be the player to watch. And similar to Kasper Dolberg, wonderful player, scored 2 goals in single game, and first goal was absolutely brilliant. So he is also a player to watch. My prediction is Denmark will be winning this game with a scoreline of 2-0. I know it's a lot. I guess Czech Republic can also fight back, but Denmark is completely on fire and they are having a fairy tale a tournament this year after Christian Eriksen injury, and I guess they will be going into semis against difficulty. So looking at the last matches of both teams, we can see Czech Republic is beaten. Netherlands will be high in confidence. You can see Matthias de Ligt got himself a red card, and then the match completely turned out, and Czech Republic scored 2 goals via Thomas Holtz and Patrick Schick. So, and if you see, Czech Republic kind of dominated in that game. 12 shots, 5 on target, 50% accuracy. Position wise, approximately same. Uh, Passes little bit less because little bit less position, and passing accuracy 73%. You can see where Netherlands fail has in passing accuracy. Because if you are having 52% ball position and you are having only 71 passing accuracy, that means the other team has pressed you very high and they have recovered a lot of balls from you. That means your midfield was kind of a sloppy in that game. That's what we can see from this stat. And looking at the corners, they got 5 corners. One was offside. That means their direct attack kind of failed there. And 14 fouls. So they like to do tactical fouls also. We can see from that stat. And looking at the Denmark versus Wales games, we will be seeing Denmark was completely dominating. 50% shot accuracy. Position was also high. Passing accuracy was also high. Fouls they committed less because they were in control of ball, so they didn't need to make any fouls. And corners they earned 9. That means they were completely attacking. They were like everything they have put into attack that day. So, and one of the games which played in 2016, it ended in a draw, but it was long back, 5 years back, and we can see the teams might be changed, manager has been changed, so everything has changed. Playing techniques have been changed, so we will get some kind of result in this game. And Czech Republic, if you see tournament stats for both teams, you can see high turnovers of both teams, 38 and 41. Both teams like to press higher up the pitch. Shots ending at halftime 7 and 9, so pretty close chat. Czech Republic didn't got any goal ending at halftime, so that's a kind of a worry for them. And Denmark has got themselves one. So this might be crucial. Whoever will be getting first goal, they will be higher up in the confidence, and they might go on to win this game. And passing sequence, pressing sequence, if you see, Czech Republic is saying have a higher, that is 64. Build-ups, you can see Denmark likes to build up with the 10 plus passes and then taking a shot on goal. Build-up goals also they have scored one, but Czech Republic hasn't scored any build-up goal also. You can see Czech Republic direct attack one only. I'm not sure why it is showing one, because they like to do direct attack as well and build up also. So both kind of play they are capable of playing, but still they have not scored on direct attack also. And you can see Denmark has scored on direct attack one goal and 52 10 plus passes before taking a shot or a goal. So with all the stats and everything, I can say Denmark is a kind of a favorites to win this game. But in football, we can never say never, and anything can happen. And I wish this will be a thrilling encounter to watch. And I hope Denmark will be winning this game. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.